Thank you so much for having me, Tony, Eva. You guys did a wonderful job tonight. We definitely made some donations, so you guys need to beat us table 7 right now by going and making a donation to Tony tonight. And thank you so much for having us. And thanks for being here. I think for many of you, this may be the first time that you've ever met. But before I get into the stump, I want to just talk a little bit about Coolidge Day because I was so excited when I saw that we were going to have a Coolidge Day. Because when people say, "Who is your favorite president?" it's Calvin Coolidge. And the reason why, the most conservative president in American history is Calvin Coolidge, with maybe Grover Cleveland coming in a second, but he was a Democrat, so he loses points. But they called him the Great Refrainer because he was a person who held back power. He was not the type of person to exercise power. That's why they called him Silent Cal. And some of you may know, some of you may not know, I actually did run for president of the United States in 2016 against the What is Aleppo guy. And obviously I'm not on Air Force One right now, so I did not win that race. But yes. But you know, when I was campaigning, I was trying to explain to people, I was like, I want to be a forgotten president. I don't want people to remember me because I want to be able to hold back so that the people can make the decisions for their own lives. And that the president only has certain enumerated powers in which he's able to act under, rather than the expansion of executive power that we've had since the height of the progressive era. But Calvin Coolidge was known for cutting budgets, cutting taxes, overseeing the roaring 20s in the United States with a great economic expansion. And so I'm so happy that we have Coolidge Days tonight because we need to remember this president because it's the ones who didn't do so much that were the greatest presidents. But the historians always judge the biggest war presidents as the greatest, right? FDR is one of the great presidents. But we conservatives know that Coolidge was the man. So thanks for having that. So just a little bit of brief background on me if you don't know much. I was born in Independence, Missouri, raised on a horse farm just south of a little town called Peculiar. And that's not far from a little town called Liberty, which is what I'm all about. And I get the impression that you guys might be Liberty curious at least here tonight, right? You guys like Liberty? Is this a Liberty-friendly crowd? Okay. Good. I'm running because obviously Claire McCaskill's got to go. Are you guys ready to fire Claire McCaskill or what? Well, I'm the man who can get the job done this time, and we've taken her on twice. We haven't been able to get the job done, but I think this time we can get it done, and I'll work very hard to make sure that we get that done this fall. You got this. Yes, you can do it. All right. So if you don't know my professional background, I was a television producer at Fox News. Anybody like Judge Napolitano? Judge fan? Yeah. So I was his writer and producer, and I was also a Tea Party organizer with FreedomWorks, help people like Rand Paul, Mike Lee, Ted Cruz get elected. I'd like to join them next year, create the Freedom Caucus, right? The 4 horsemen of freedom in the Senate. And then, of course, I'm a small business owner. They said, Austin, if you like your health care plan, you can keep it. As soon as I started my small business, and then what happened? Boom, they canceled my health insurance plan. I say we should get the government out of our health care system entirely. Overturn Obamacare, get the feds out of our health insurance schemes, right? And, I'm not going to back down on these issues. I've been taking a lot of heat for some of my more unpopular positions, but guys, what's right is not always what's popular, and what's popular is not always what's right. One of the things that you can, thank you, one of the things that you can always count on me for is, you may not always agree with me, but you'll always know where I stand. And quite frankly, in these primaries, we as candidates have every incentive to lie to you, to tell you everything that you want to hear, so beware of a politician that you agree with on pretty much everything, because they might just be knowing a little bit more about you than you may know about yourself. So what I say is it's better, I want to be honest with you, and a lot of people have a lot of skepticism and reservations, but I am a transparent and open book. I will be on, if I'm honest with you now, trying to get elected, it's not going to be like Gizmo and Gremlins, and all of a sudden I'm going to turn into the nightmare Gremlin the next day, right? What you see is what you get. Now, I'm a pro-life candidate, thank you, yeah. 27 years ago, my family met a woman who was going to abort her child. We begged her not to. We said, please give her to us. We adopted her. She's my little sister. I now have a beautiful nephew. We must defend life. Without life, there's no liberty. And, I have a loving family, raised on a horse farm. My father was a Green Beret. He is a wonderful man who taught me how to ride horses bale hay, and how to respect and shoot a gun. Now, we've been talking about the Second Amendment a little bit tonight. It's going to be a big election year issue, guys, because after these tragedies, what they always try and do is they try and take away our rights. It's like the Democrats want to take all of our guns, and a lot of Republicans want to take just a little bit of our guns, right? Not this Republican, okay? Now, I've been banned from Facebook twice for giving away AR-15s for my campaign, as some of you know, right? I've been getting in trouble for that, right? And now I'm giving away a bump stock. And you know why I'm giving away a bump stock? Because Josh Hawley doesn't want you to have it. You know, right? I love it. I love it when people say, well, why do you need an assault rifle? I'm like, in case I'm ever under assault. Or I could say, nobody needs a whiny little communist, and yet here you are. Right? Or the best one to say, if you really want to knock them for a loop, just say it's called the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Needs. And that ought to be enough. Which is, why I've been pushing so hard for this, because the Democrats, they're coming for our guns. Claire McCaskill obviously voted for all of this anti-gun legislation, no fly, no buy, the 2013 assault weapons bill, which, what is an assault weapon, right? If I hit you with this microphone, it's an assault weapon, right? What do the Dems know about guns anyway, right? And does Josh Hawley look like the type of man who's ever held a gun in his life? Because when the Attorney General of this state says we need to move quickly to ban firearms accessories with executive orders, that is a man who has never held a gun, okay? The Attorney General says move quickly. What is the Senate supposed to be? It's a deliberative body where legislation goes to cool. Anytime any politician says we need to move quickly on something, they're coming for your freedoms. And that's when we got to rise up and say, oh no, stop. We need checks and balances. And the Senate is supposed to be a deliberative body, which is why, we should not also pop off at these events, right? We should be cool and calm and collected, because Claire McCaskill wants chaos. She wants to maintain office. She wants all of the rancor that's happening in Jefferson City. And again, what you think about the governor, no matter what, defending the Constitution and due process is rarely ever popular. Because in the court of public opinion, everybody's guilty until they're proven innocent, right? So what we need to do is we need to have solidarity. We should defend due process. That's not a defense of the governor. That's a defense of the law. Everybody gets their day in court, right? Because what they're doing to the governor, they're doing to the president too. And that's what they'll do to me, and that's what they'll do to anybody who is a Republican candidate from now on. So keep an eye out, watch your backs, lock arms, and get ready to stop the blue wave here in Missouri. So here's the deal. Obviously, I'm pro-gun, I'm pro-life, I'm pro-liberty, I'm pro-Constitution. One of the things that I'm going to talk about right now, and this is going to make my campaign manager very upset, is my faith. Because people have been asking me to address this, because a lot of people have been approaching me about this, because one of the reservations running as a Republican is the Christian values that so many Republicans hold. And I'm going to tell you a brief little story right now and open up my heart, talking about transparency. When I was 15 years old, my mother was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And I spent a year with her on her couch, carrying her vomit from the couch to the toilet. It was a very difficult year. I did injections. My father did injections. We suffered and struggled. We were a very religious Christian family. My mother took me to church. I was baptized at 11, 12 years old. And then a year after she passed away, there was a pharmacist we found out who was diluting her chemotherapy drugs. A man by the name of Robert Courtney, who's done it to thousands of people in the Kansas City area. He sits in federal prison now. And at that time, I began to question my faith. And I didn't go to church anymore. I'd read the Bible many, many times, and I've always believed in the teachings of Jesus. But I think it's important that you all know that if I won't lie to you about my faith just to get elected, then I won't lie to you about my policies, what I'll do next year either. And I believe in religious liberty deeply. I think the left wants to destroy religion. I think that they have replaced the concept of God with government. The most dangerous religion of all is faith in government. And that is the one thing that we must always push against. And I have never, ever been a Democrat. I've been a libertarian, but I've never believed in big government. I think that socialism is a danger. I am a strong constitutional conservative. And I have faith in freedom. I have faith in the American people. I have faith in liberty and our Constitution and our processes. I believe in those things, and I think that that's what makes us strong. But I wanted to talk about that because everybody's been asking me to talk about it, and I haven't opened up about that yet because it's such a difficult topic. But just remember, if I won't lie to you now, then next year you're going to get the same man that you've got right now. So let me feel you. Thank you. Probably going to get yelled at on the campaign bus tonight for not scripting that, but we'll talk about it more. So let me just finish with this. We've got a big vote coming up. I don't think the Attorney General's got what it takes. He's not working hard. He's in Columbia working out when he's supposed to be in Jefferson City. He's the Mitch McConnell pick in this race, the golden boy. He's got the Hillary Clinton inevitability vibe, right? And we all know how that worked out, right? Claire's got $13 million now. She'll have $30 million to come at us this fall. But if money could buy elections, Hillary'd be the president right now. So you're going to need a man who knows the value of a hard day's work, and nobody is working harder in this Republican Senate primary than the Austin Petersen campaign. So, if you like your Attorney General, you can keep him. Have a good night. Thank you so much.